Call to order the City of Dayton Parks Commission meeting for March 3rd. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm not sure why, but that sounded like a whole bunch of kindergartens.
Thank you, everyone. Oh, my goodness. Call for any additions, changes, or deletions to the agenda. All right. Entertain a motion to approve the proposed agenda.
All motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right. On to the, we did the consent agenda. All right. Entertain a motion to approve the meeting notes from the March or from the February meeting.
All motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same side. All right. Open forum. Do we have anybody here or online to speak? Reminder, 3-minute limitation.
I didn't see anybody online.
Okay. On to the council update. Councilman Slonik.
Let's see, I think most of this, I'll just wait until we do the annual council update, because it's all included in that. Everything I have to say, pretty much.
Okay. Anything from you, Marty?
No, this time, no.
All right. On to regular meeting items. Item B, comprehensive plan and development update.
John's gonna run with this one?
We're moving fast.
No, it's not a council meeting.
Okay, so thank you for allowing me to visit the Park Commission meeting again. We've got a number of planning items that are related to parks and trails that are needing recommendations from the Park Commission. So we have 5 projects that will be reviewed by the Planning Commission and the City Council in the month of March. They're numbered on the screen in various locations. Kind of general background in Park Commission and in the Commission's review of planning projects, the question of, why are you reviewing this? So the Minnesota statute allows cities to require a reasonable portion of buildable land to be given from the developer to the cities. If the city determines that there's no suitable area for a land dedication, the city can require park and trail dedication fees instead. And that's, in order to require fees, we have to have an ordinance that says what those fees are, as well as we have to have a park plan, which is this map here, as well as a capital improvement plan, which Marty's gone over several times, essentially a plan of how we're going to spend the money. Park and trail dedication fees can only be used for the purchase of land or say park and trail improvements. It cannot be used for ongoing maintenance and operation costs. I wonder if I can get rid of this. Maybe, we'll see. Okay. Okay, so what is the land and what are the fees that the city has the ability to require of developments? It depends on the type of project, and if it's a residential project, it also depends on the amount of density. So for a residential project, the amount of land is a percentage based on the density of the project. For commercial and industrial, it's up to 5% of the net area. And what a net acres. So net acres is take the gross acres, you can take out wetlands, arterial roadways, and a few other things. So generally speaking, I know if you go into older neighborhoods, not necessarily in Dayton, you will find parkland that is in floodplain or kind of the I'm going to call it kind of the junk land that was left over. The developer just gave to the city back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So the state kind of learned from that and now requires that it be actually buildable land that's dedicated. For park and trail dedication fees, this is adopted annually through the city's fee schedule. It's also based on non-residential, residential, and high-density residential. So in general speaking, For non-residential projects, it's about $11,000 per acre. Residential, it's about $7,300 per house, and for high-density residential, which is generally apartments, it's about $5,600 per apartment or apartment unit.
When was the last time those fees changed?
I don't know.
It's been a while, I
It's-
think.
Yeah.
Because I think Tina did these ones.
I don't know if they change, but we look at them every year.
We do look at them every year. So part of, and we did look at this in more detail a couple of years ago. One of the challenges with it is that our fees are kind of subject to the park plan that's in the comprehensive plan. And so, essentially looking at this map of what is the cost of acquiring land for, whether it's a community park or neighborhood parks, how much detail is in that plan. We don't have a lot of detail, and so it's difficult to justify fees that are much higher. And generally speaking, I believe we're on a little bit of the high end of average for developing cities. I think traditionally Plymouth is probably the highest, but I don't think it's significantly more though.
Good
So that's something that we need to look at as we update the 2050 comprehensive plan in the next couple of years.
Because slides are getting more expensive every day.
Yep. Yeah.
So is asphalt.
So, question I have on that, so are you saying that because we don't have the current plan right now of we're building this park, we need this funds, we need this land for this park, it's actually hurting us from being able to actually up the fee then?
A little bit. So and this is a very conservative look at it. So, like Elsie Stevens really isn't I don't think it's in our comprehensive plan, at least not to the level of detail that we're at now. So that does kind of hurt us is by being very generic in our comprehensive plan.
Right.
I think the hope there is with development and some industrial, that'll help all the numbers.
Yeah.
Because right now, like John said, we are on the upper side on our fees compared to other areas.
Speaking of commercial, any idea, like that first Graco building that we gave a tip for when that matures?
I want to say it's either 2029 or 2030.
Not far away then. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great segue. So now getting into the 5 projects. So the first project is for Graco. They are proposing to build a 3-story building on the west side of French Lake. There is an existing trail on the east side of French Lake. The staff recommendation is park and trail dedication fees, which equal about $109,000. Although in conversations with Graco to get them to build in Dayton, we did agree to give a $200,000 credit towards development fees, which wipes out the park and trail dedication fees.
Of course. And now they want a trail.
So, just to note, Diamond Lake Regional Trail is adjacent to this project, and that is an existing trail. So, any questions on this?
So we won't be putting in another trail here, you're saying? They
Not
just
here,
won't?
correct, because the trail is existing on the east side of the road.
Got it.
So why was it the park and trail dedication that was the one that suffered from the 200,000?
It could be any, I should say, I don't know for sure. So it might be that they pay park dedication fees and we take that out of sewer trunk fees instead. So it's possible. That's something that the city council will determine when they approve the project. There are many fees that are associated with this, far exceeding $200,000. So that is a possibility that the council could say, pay park dedication fees, we'll take the credit out of something else. So in the end, it's still city fees.
Might be, yeah, if it could be not the entire amount
Sure.
of the park and trail, I feel like that would be good.
Okay, any more questions on Graco?
So with this new building they're looking at,
Mhm.
what kind of build schedule do they have, out of my own curiosity?
They would start this spring.
Oh,
I'm gonna say it's probably about a year and a half, roughly.
Okay. And it's all been approved through all the other boards? planning
It
and-
has not. So
Okay.
just calendar-wise, Park Commission lands first on the typically
Sure.
on the meeting schedule. So this will go to the Planning Commission on Thursday, and then the City Council on March 10th.
The Graco campus.
Okay, the second project is a reserve at Vineyard Meadow. This is in northwest Dayton. It's 12 single-family lots. Staff recommendation is to require a trail easement along Brockton as well as Dayton River Road. And then in addition, park and trail dedication fees totaling about $88,000. Notes on this is within a search area for a community park, although adjacent to this project to the south is the planned Holy Spirit Academy.
Yep.
Struggling on the name here. So Holy Spirit Academy, we anticipate will be coming in for a private school or charter school. The thought there is that it makes high school. So the thought there is that it would make sense to discuss with them co-locating athletic facilities on their campus. Diamond Lake Regional Trail kind of goes through this area, although the plan from Three Rivers Park is that it would be on the east side of Lawndale Lane, so outside of this project. And then we have West Mississippi Regional Trail that goes along Dayton River Road, although that trail would also be on the north side of Dayton River Road. So the intent here is that it would be a city trail along Brockton and then on the south side of Dayton River Road. If the developer were to build a trail now, it would not connect to anything, so that's why we're recommending just an easement, and the trail would be built at a later date.
Got it.
So any questions on this?
Has this gone through the proper channels?
It is, your Park Commission is first.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
is
For
that
all
with
of
all
these.
5
With all of
projects?
these,
Okay,
yes.
thank
We
you.
haven't seen any, but
Well, look at you getting ahead of the curve.
Okay.
Thank you.
The Project 3 is Sundance Greens 12th edition. This is an amendment to planning unit development. The staff is recommending a land dedication for, excuse me, a quarter of Dayton Farm. So as the commission may recall, this Dayton Farms Park or Area 21 Park is many, many years in the making. The idea is that we're going to take a little bit of land from 4 different development projects, and eventually we would have a park. So that was, I don't know when we started this, I'm going to say 10 to 15 years ago. So we're almost there.
And Dayton Farms Park is the name that was
For
voted
Area-
on
yes, for
recently? Okay,
Area 21.
all right.
So in the case here, it would be, again, it'd be land dedication towards Dayton Farms Park. The trail that's along the power line easement, I believe, is already constructed. So it would just be a land dedication.
Nice.
Gotcha.
So any questions with this?
That'll be a great park.
I should ask, and I apologize for this, if the commission has any recommendations, like, with staff's recommendations or something different too, for any of these. Okay.
Hearing none?
The fourth project is Dubay Lake Preserve. This is a large project on the north side of 117th Avenue. It's a concept plan, so concept plan is kind of the first step in the project review, and it's the developer bringing in an idea and then giving the planning commission, the council, and other advisory commissions the opportunity to just provide a non-binding recommendation or comments, good and bad, about the project. The developer then takes those comments and revises the plan before submitting a preliminary plat. So there's typically not as much detail in a concept plan as there would be in a preliminary plat, although this project is fairly detailed. With Dubay Lake Preserve, the developer has submitted 2 different concept plans. One has 453 lots and the second 478 lots. So this is, for comparison, slightly smaller than Sundance Greens. I think Sundance was low 500s. The staff recommendations for this, and I'll just kind of go one by one. The first is a trail, construction of a trail along the north side of 117th. There is an existing trail along the south side of 117th, but we're anticipating that 117th will be a much busier street with all the homes that are coming in. Second item is to extend the trail along the power line easement north and south.
Question?
Can I ask?
Yep.
That trail that's going on the south, is that connecting to anything, or is that just like straight?
At this point, no. So it would go from the extent of the development from, here on this point on the east and then this point on the west. So very similar to when Brayburn Trails was built. It was essentially a trail to nowhere until the adjacent properties were developed, and then it would eventually connect.
Connect, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
The second bulleted item is to extend the north-south trail corridor along the power line easement. The question came up at a recent city council meeting is if there's interest in a permanent snowmobile trail in Dayton. I think that was more so in relation to connecting trails in, I'm going to say from Hennepin County into Wright County across the Crow River. But as it relates, if you have a trail crossing, you got to have a trail also.
Yep.
So I think the snowmobile trail top isn't necessarily a topic for tonight. I believe we discussed it a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure who all was on the commission.
It was one of my first meetings. I
Oh, okay.
remember.
Everybody but Luke.
Third item is a trail along the east wetland complex here. So this is a fairly expansive wetland complex, and part of it, I'm going to say probably half of it goes through this project. Third item is a trail around Dubay Lake. Fourth item is a neighborhood park north of this project, but would potentially require some land dedication. This is more of a high-end idea of where is the next neighborhood park north of 117th. And I don't have it on here, but also the idea, this is within the search area for community park, and then also a bigger question of where would be a potential site for a future city hall and civic campus. This has kind of, we're starting at the park commission and working our way up. The idea of this location is that the city does own, I believe it's 9 acres, 9 acres on 117th that was intended for either a replacement for Fire Station 2 or possibly a park. The idea of where would a new civic campus go, ideally it's going to be we're probably going to need one sooner or later. And when I say sooner, I'm going to say within the next 5 to 15 years. So trying to figure out, okay, what area is going to have sewer and water within that time period, and is also easily accessible. As the commission knows, when you look at the bigger map of Dayton, the only north-south corridor that we have is Zanzibar. And so Zanzibar, as we develop out, is going to be our main north-south corridor. Having a community park on the south end, as well as another one on the north end, makes sense. So these are all high-level, big idea concepts, but how that relates to this project is the far northwest corner of this project has a similar topography to the area that's west of there. If there's an idea or any interest in planning for a community park, it'd be better to do that sooner rather than later so that we don't end up having houses where we should have had a park. Okay. That was kind of a mouthful. Otherwise, park and dedication fees, depending on the number of lots that are built, whether it's 453 or 478, is somewhere between $3.3 and $3.5 million. So this is a significant project as it relates to funding future park improvements. In each one of these, I'm putting out the fee dedication just to have that as a general reference. When we do require land dedication or construction of trails, that is credited towards the fee amount.
One question I have, the 3.3 million, does that get paid when they start development or per house?
That's a great question. So the fees are paid when the final plat is approved. So in bigger projects, it's done in phases. So Sundance Greens, for example, we're on phase 12. So if each phase has 20 homes, they pay a park dedication fee for 20 lots. And that fee is based on when the development is final. So, let's say if this project were approved in 2026, phase 1 is going to pay 2026 fees. Phase 10 might pay 2020 or 2030 fees if that's when it's finalized.
And if the fees go up eventually, that would then continue to go up?
Yes,
Yep.
yes. Okay, this is a big project, so I'm anticipating there's questions.
So when you say the Area 18 park and then the community park, those are two separate? I mean, I'm just making sure I'm understanding.
I
You have the
think-
red circle, so you're
Yes.
talking about something totally different.
Correct, and I think if it's probably either one or the other. If we do a community park, there's not a need for a neighborhood park this close.
Okay.
I should also add the project is proposing an HOA park in this location, so that would be similar to Sundance, so it'd be a clubhouse with a swimming pool and
So they
possibly
would
a-
have something.
It would have something.
But in the
Okay.
meantime, there's a debate of if we're going to put a community park in the area, and then like the consolation of if we don't do that would be this Area 18 park. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And the reason for this location, and it's just thrown out there, so it's along the Power Line Corridor Trail, and it's far enough north of Dayton Farms Park that it just made sense.
When is the community park discussion happening?
Whenever you'd like.
Cool.
Well, the last time we went to the table with them, it was, at the end of the meeting, everybody agreed it's too expensive and too far out and not to talk about it. But, I mean, if you can get land up there, we all know who owns the land, so.
If that's where it's gonna be.
Right. So, I don't see any kind of Fernbrook realignment on there, the old classic Dayton X cut across and all that stuff going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
what I was
the
wondering.
X was removed in, I believe it was 2023, thereabout, so.
2 or 3.
Yep, so for anyone that's not familiar with it, when the comprehensive plan was approved in 2022 and written a few years before that, the plan was we'd have this transportation corridor going, essentially at an angle, and it kind of centers north of this project or the Dubay project. 2023, the council needed to make a decision of whether to require land dedication as part of the Brayburn Trails project, and the council's decision was to remove the X and go with we called it the H. So essentially, it's north and south corridors along Fernbrook and Zanzibar with cross streets on 117th, 121st, and 125th. So that leads to too fast.
All right.
In this case, we have, the middle of the H on 121st as well as a future 125th. No, I'm sorry, future 121st and then 125th.
So I noticed the ghost plat on the one property on the far west side of all this.
There are a couple. So there's one,
Yeah?
yep, there's one on the far west side, and so that's and it's hard to see on the screen. But the intent here is showing how land could be subdivided. So it's essentially not ignoring that landowner. And
So it is possible Tom Dean's talking to him and,
it's possible. I don't know, that they're not part of this project. I don't believe they're participating in it, but the idea is that we're not ignoring the development
possibility,
potential.
right? And it's already ghost platted, so.
And then it's the same thing with I think it's the Young property that's in the middle here.
Neat.
So any questions or recommendations or comments on this?
What year prospectively? Are we thinking 28, 29 break ground?
Probably 27.
Yeah, it's just a guess.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm
really?
gonna
That's
say
soon.
20, well, late 2027. So this project is big enough, it's going to require environmental assessment agreement or
Yep.
worksheet, EAW for short. That typically takes 6 to 8 months to go through. So my guess is the approvals would be late in 2026, and then probably would begin construction in early 2027 at the earliest.
Dayton's growing.
It's growing, and it also depends on market demand. So as the commission knows, we have a number of projects that were approved late in 2025 that are just beginning to get started.
How does this affect then our build plan for the 2022 or 2020, 2030, 2040? Is this property a part of the original 2020 or are we moving 2030?
It's a great question. Yes and no. So the west portion of the project is within the 2020 sewer plan. The eastern portion is within the 2030 sewer plan. So this will require an amendment to the comprehensive plan related to sewer staging.
You don't happen to have a quick copy of that you could send out or show the rest of the group here?
I do not. The border, it's either this line or this line, one of the two. I'm going to say roughly this is 2030 and then this is 2020.
Sure.
Other questions or?
So if you think that this project is going to start in 2027, then we need to have the discussion about which park. Because don't you go into it with them knowing what they're doing, either dedicating land or paying fees?
It is, and at this stage with the concept plan, it's not critical now. It will be critical at the preliminary plat stage. Before the preliminary plat can be approved, the EAW has to be written and accepted first. So again, this project probably won't come back to the city council or back to the city until later in 2026. So there's plenty of time, but if the city intends on looking at a community park in this area, more thought should be put into it as far as what is in the community park and how much land is needed.
Any other questions before we move on? All right.
Okay. Any recommendations with this at this point?
I feel so up in the air that I don't know if I can make recommendations.
Well, I like your trail recommendations that you've already put in there.
Agreed.
True.
And I personally would like to talk about the snowmobile again, because I think that there's a definite desire to try to save the stuff that is already being used.
I would agree with that.
Same.
Okay.
I mean, given you have to have snow and, all that fun stuff that we can't really
Sure.
plan, but
I think saving what's already being used versus like creating new is such a different discussion than what we had when we were talking about the snowmobile trail last time too. So,
John, do you know the distance from that trail to the back lot of those houses along there? Has that been described yet?
I do not, but it's not far. So the idea of when we discussed this a couple of years ago of co-locating snowmobile trails with the horse trail, I think the idea was a much wider corridor than what we have for, this. So this is much more, I'm going to say more urban, where you're thinking there's going to be people walking strollers and bicycles and dogs. It's much different with the snowmobile and the noise there, so that's associated with that.
Right. It would have to be a much wider path.
Yeah, so you're not talking like 300-400 feet,
No, I mean, this is,
100.
or less.
I'd say.
I mean, issue.
For a snowmobile, yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, anything more on Dubay? No? Okay, the fifth project and the last one is Stensley Stern. So this is along County Road 81 and Territorial Trail. This is also a concept plan, so once again, a very high-level plan for 172 townhomes. Recommendations for this is to consider land for, I can't remember which area this was, if it was Area 20.
Close to 20.
Area 20 neighborhood park, which potentially would be partially land dedication from this project, as well as a trail that would be located along or on top of a sanitary sewer easement, and then potentially in the future connecting on the east side to create a loop trail. This project is adjacent to the Three Rivers Park District for Rush Creek Regional Trail. That will be along the north side of Territorial Trail, and then we'll cross over through a tunnel to the southwest side of County Road 81. So it touches this project, but just barely. Any questions with this? So again, staff's recommendation, park and trail dedication fees are about $1.2 million. And that would, any land dedication or trail construction would be credited towards that 1.2 million.
A lot of houses to be dumping out on 81, that's already busy.
It is, so, and I don't have a map on here. Staff is planning on realigning Territorial Trail and the County Road 81 intersection and putting in a roundabout, kind of at this juncture. The expectations, the developer would be contributing heavily towards the cost of that roundabout. That doesn't necessarily relieve traffic congestion at that intersection. So that's going to be a traffic signal. Hennepin County has no plans for a traffic signal, and we don't have money to pay for that. So,
Right.
So yes, with 172 homes that are putting into, that's going to contribute to the congestion at that intersection, and we don't have a fix for that. Any questions for this project?
And there's no way to get it to the roundabout over by the Cubes building, is there?
Not practically. So this project does include a right-in, right-out along the western portion of the project. So the thought is that, that's more of a reliever for these residents, is that they can get in here and then out down Territorial. I don't know if the commission is aware, so in 2025, we had a development moratorium in this larger area to look at what is the highest and best use, as well as transportation corridors. The council's direction is to separate industrial traffic from residential traffic. So the idea here is you're not going to have a mixture of the two. So all the industrial traffic is going to go out onto Dayton Parkway. All the residential traffic will either go out onto East Territorial Road or Territorial.
Good in
I'm sure.
theory,
East
but you're
Franklin
still
Road.
dumping them on 81, which is commercial traffic.
Yes.
Well, all right then.
Any good questions for this? No?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, I'm just to be clear, I'm going to interpret that staff's recommendation or the Park Commission's recommendation is similar to what staff is recommending on each of these slides. So essentially, for any additional trails or changes in trails or parks, I should add for this one, for Area 20, it does take more thought to put into it on, I think in the park, or in the comprehensive plan, I think it is Area 20 Neighborhood Park, not a tot lot. So Neighborhood Park is significantly larger than a tot lot. In conversations with some other developers that are more familiar with this land than I am, the best location is on the west side of this kind of wetland complex. And depending on the size of the neighborhood park, it may be on both sides of the wetland.
I think, to your point of just us reflecting the same as the staff recommendations, the two things I remember from this is that for Graco are curious if the fees cannot all be taken just from
Sure.
us, and then for Dubay, that there needs to be further discussion on certain things like the snowmobile and the community park.
I'd concur.
Yep, agreed. I think it's great that we're giving back to allow them to build a little bit easier. I just don't think the park area should be the one that takes the blend of it.
Sure, yep, no, it's totally understood. I've not figured out the fees for the whole Graco project, and so I do the park dedication fees. It's just simple to call that out, so.
Well, 200,000 would have built a nice shelter. Just saying.
Yep.
Maybe, maybe not.
All right, a nice splash pad.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Come on, Scott,
Veterans
give us
Memorial?
something.
It could have bought us more recycling and garbage cans.
Thank you.
Could have
And
put,
dog waste.
could have
Yes.
put
Dispensers.
running water in the bathroom. No, just kidding. That's not enough for that.
Okay.
Garden was from the river.
Yeah.
Any, I think I've got what I need. Any other?
Do you need a motion or anything?
I guess for the minutes, it'd be helpful to have a motion.
What are we motioning to?
So if my interpretation is to go with staff's recommendation on each of these 5 items. The exception would be is on Graco of somehow split, and I gotta figure out how to wordsmith, but essentially not all the credit, $200,000 credit to Graco should come from park and trail dedication fees. And then as it relates to Dubay, is having further conversation regarding a community park.
Yep.
I move to go with staff recommendations with the exception of Graco, where the fees be more evenly split, so the park department, or the park commission does not eat the cost, and the snowmobile trail in Dubay to continue to have that discussion. Other than that, I agree with your recommendations, so I move.
There a second?
Well, also adding the community, we need to discuss the community park compared to area.
Community park versus area.
True, I amend my motion and add the community park discussion.
All right.
I'll second on that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, all right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Next item, Water Trails Approval Bid Award.
So this is more for your information as requested. The council did approve this. We're moving along with the contract negotiations at the moment, pulling that together. The low bid was from Sunram. It was a very good bid. They're a smaller company, but they have some good references for similar projects. So we're comfortable with using them. So we've got a significant amount of the grant dollars left over, which we're going to be using at Gooding Park with the Three Rivers Park District at their Trailhead project there. On top of this 383, we took the tree content out of there because I think there was something required like 240 trees. Obviously, we can put all those around the one area where we're taking them out. That's due to the city ordinance where for every 1 inch of trees you take out, you have to replace 2. So we will be putting trees in, but we'll be putting those around the whole of Elsie Stevens Park once we figure out where we can put them, and they're not going to be in the way of other things in the master plan.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll have a pre-construction meeting on that in the next couple of weeks, and then we should get breaking ground late spring, early summer with a completion date. I think it was September.
9 bids, nice work.
Mm-hmm.
Almost
I think
the
there was
best
something-
turnout we've had.
I think there were 28 contractors took bid packets. So yeah, it was good.
Sounds good.
All right, standard question, projected construction. We're gonna start this year with it?
Yes, like I said.
That's what,
Sorry, I
With
was
the goal of
oohing
20
and auging.
No, we should-
September of 2026,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's when it should be
thank you.
completed.
Completed?
It will be substantially completed by 2026. There might be some restoration work that needs to be done, but I'm anticipating everything to be in by
Fantastic. Kayaks on order then?
I haven't got that far yet. We've got to negotiate with, we're looking at doing a paddle share program, but it's kind of difficult when we don't have a put-in point just yet. The put-in point would probably be DNR in the old village, and that would be where the paddle share would be, and then the bike share would be maybe at Elsie Stevens, so they can take the canoes out and rent a bike and get back to their vehicle at DNR.
And at the end of the day, you can go and put the boats back where they belong and the bikes back.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
thanks, Dave.
Someone's got to do it.
I'm looking at you.
All right, I'm getting a
No, you're
job.
volunteering.
You're going to hire me? Awesome. All right. Any questions on this for Marty?
No, great work.
Straightforward, yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
On to item D, 26 Park Commission Goals Discussion Annual Council Update.
Yeah, so we talked about this at the last meeting, and you were to take some time and then come back and discuss at this meeting, how you want to go meet with the council and talk about your goals. And we need to set up some goals for the commission for this year. Maybe some more, looking out next year, maybe looking out a couple of years, what you need to look at. So I'll leave this for you to have an open discussion on it.
Did you include the parks from last meeting that were not on here?
So what one?
Wasn't there like Leathers Park and something else and some trails that weren't on the discussion? Looking for my notes.
Possibly the trail, the trail would have been the one connecting to Pineview. That's still in progress, or still in the works.
Yeah, that's probably going to tie in with the Hennepin County project when they put the roundabout in.
So I guess can I just start out with a couple of questions for you, Marty?
Sure.
So when John was on the committee, he was kind of leading a Tree City USA initiative.
Yep.
And then I haven't heard anything about it since he's gotten off the committee. I'm just curious, are we still moving forward with that? Is it just dead in the air? Is there something we should be doing with it? I'm just wondering if we need to make any goals around that.
I don't. As far as I recall, John was going to keep running that part of the project and come back to me with what he needs to keep that thing moving and dates for Arbor Day and that kind of thing. So I haven't heard anything from John. I certainly could reach out to him and see where we're at with that.
It wasn't with city legal department that they were looking through that?
I think we got past that, didn't we? Yeah, we got
Yeah,
past that
we
because
got
the
past
council
that.
approved it and they did the proclamation and that stuff as well.
Okay.
I just would like to keep helping it move along, so if we could get an update on that, that would be great.
I will reach out to John and see if he's still running it. If he's
Visit
not,
us
then
next month.
If he's not, then that way we can see where we need to pick up
Yeah.
with it.
Yep.
Can I piggyback on your trees? Arbor Day proclamation. Can we do that again this year?
What did we do last year?
Just a Arbor Day proclamation, hug your tree,
Yeah.
I believe it was.
Do we have to do the proclamation every year?
I would think so.
I think so.
I know. I can look into. I'll talk with John about that as well.
Might have my old sheet here somewhere. April is, obviously, that's where Arbor Day lands.
Mm-hmm.
And we had written up that nice proclamation.
Yep.
Fantastic. You have anything else?
So the only thing, as far as like overviewing with the list that you already gave us, I just feel like there's a couple of things that we don't have on there. One, you mentioned Leathers Park. So I just want to make sure that's known. And then also like the Diamond Lake Diamonds, since we've been working on that. Just as things to be able to bring up if we're meeting with city council. Those are the two things that I saw that were missing off the list.
The parking lot at Central Park was done this past year too.
Ah, that's right. Thank you.
I think that was in this.
I didn't see it anywhere. Under rollback to Leathers Park, we're looking at possible reseeding this year.
We mowed it last fall. We'll see what comes up in the spring and see if there's some overseeding required in there.
And Diamond Lake Diamonds, is it for sure? Starting this year?
It's
We've
the-
got money put aside for that. I'm not sure what that looks like this year. I think we put money in there for 4 years, $25,000 $25,000 a year for 4 years. We figured that the project would be somewhere like 100,000 to get it done. And we need to talk to CDAA a little bit to see if they're going to contribute some funds to that as well. So we did do some concept plans. We haven't come down on what the next step is just yet.
Got it.
Could we get an update on that next meeting possibly?
Yeah, sure.
And an item that is not going to happen, probably, the shelter at Stevens Park, the band shell. That is probably not going, possibilities are the soonest we could get it done would be September.
So not happening, period, it's just.
Well,
not happening.
it's still up in the air.
What's the delay?
Great question. What's the delay,
Yeah,
Marty?
because we talked about it last time and it's all
The
good.
unit
board
itself,
approved it as well.
the unit itself originally was going to be a 4-week, order it, get it in 12 weeks, 4 months, 3 months, 3 months. Now it's closer to 20 to 24 weeks before you get it, so 5 to 6 months before you get it.
That specific design, right? So if we chose
Well,
another design. we
not
could
necessarily,
get it sooner?
that's most of them.
Yeah.
They don't stock the unit. Once you order it, they have to go through the engineer drawings, which it surprises me that they don't have these drawings already made up. For, if you order a standard 20 by 30 or 30 by 30, they're not made. I mean, for some reason, then it takes 8 weeks to get the drawings. And then they make it after the drawings are done, which production is out 5 to 6 months.
Is it not something that we can have someone construct? Like,
No, we can get it up, but we don't have the unit. We won't get the unit until, even if we ordered it, council approved what unit to order, but even if we ordered that unit, you wouldn't get it until August.
But I mean, would it not be something that we couldn't go a different route and have someone build a band shelter like other communities have?
You mean versus like a.
Yeah, instead of doing a prefabricated thing?
Yeah,
Well, if
costs
you came
are
up
gonna
with a
go-
rough drawing, you could maybe do it, but I mean, go to the lumber yard and buy the lumber and stuff, then
Yeah.
maybe you could do it, but I mean,
Your
you're
costs are
talking-
gonna go way up
Yeah.
to
I-
compared to prefab.
Then you're opening a whole nother can of worms. I
Yeah.
mean, you
Yeah.
can't look at what you're buying right off the bat. I mean,
Right.
I think there's a lot of, I understand what you're saying, Luke, but I think there's a lot of different things that we'd
Yeah.
have to go through with the design and engineering on that.
Yep.
That would probably push it further out.
Further out,
and
yeah.
Increase the cost.
So,
I mean, the council looked at the particular unit, everybody, it was 5-0 on what unit to get. But then all of a sudden, we ran into a snag as far as, you can't really, well, what's really gonna hold it up is June 5th, the car show events start. And I don't know what is summer events for the city has got planned. We haven't talked about that at all yet. But every 2 weeks, there's a car show event from starting June 5th till the end of August.
So the council wants something up before those would all happen.
Originally,
and-
yes.
And because this wouldn't come up, so the council wants us to find something alternative that could get in there sooner?
No.
Or, okay,
No,
so,
no, we've
No,
pretty much
we're just-
accepted the
That-
fact that it's
That
not
it's
going
not
to
going-
happen.
So
I mean,
it'll either
Can we
happen
pay
in
for it,
the
order it, and get it here spring of '27?
Well,
we can get it here September or August of this year.
Yeah.
We can get the unit then, and then after most of the events are over at Stevens. I mean, I don't think you want to start, personally, I wouldn't start construction in June or July, because then you're going to interfere with all
Right,
all
you
of
Yeah,
won't
it.
be
we don't
able
want
to
that
have
stuff
any
around.
of
Yeah.
So if you wait until September when everything's pretty much over, I mean, it could be, if it's here, it could be erected in 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
So you're
Can we
just
get that
letting us
writing?
know it's not going to be in the spring, it's going to be in the fall
Yeah.
Oh,
instead.
okay. I thought
Unfortunately,
that's
we
all not
needed to
gonna
get this
happen
going
that way.
6 months ago
Yeah,
to get it done.
so it's just that it will be going in the fall
Still
instead.
So it was ordered.
I don't think so.
So we haven't ordered anything yet. We still need to figure out the exact size of it. We need to do some soil borings to, test the soils there for the footings and all that good stuff. So there's still some engineering stuff that needs to be done that way. We need to get some work done on how that structure supports itself with a 10-foot overhang on the front, and maybe some cantilever design needed for that as well. So there's a bunch of stuff going on. I have one company that's doing some preliminary drawings for us and giving us some estimates for what that looks like. But we still need to get the plans and specs side of this project sorted out, so we know exactly where it's going, how we reroute the ADA trail to accommodate the dance floor, and any retaining walls and anything that's needed to go around that stage area. So there's still quite a few things, moving parts to get this together. It's not just going in there, putting up the band shell.
So 2027 then, maybe.
No, I think it's possible to get it done in September. I mean,
I think it is too. I think that if we aim for 26 and get all our ducks in a row, we can get everything ordered ahead of time, get it delivered here, ready to go, and do the whole project in September. There may be some restoration work to do in the spring of 27, but I think that the structure and the concrete work and all that good stuff can be done this year.
I mean, you could even go through the end of October, I think, to,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Right.
I mean, I expect that we can have it built yet this fall, but it's just not going to happen for June. My
Right.
target was June 1.
Right. It's just a lot has to happen, as he explained, but
Yeah.
we, as a board, would really like to see that installed this fall, but we understand there's a lot that goes to it.
Do we
Minimal
have,
next spring.
do we have a drawing of what it's gonna look like, or any rough?
We do have some rough drawings, I think.
Yeah,
Did
we
we
saw.
seen those?
Okay, is that the same?
Yeah,
You
Okay.
guys seen it, I think.
Okay.
so, the way-
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's still the same thing, and as that rough drawings come in, I can bring those back to you guys as well, but,
All right.
In the meantime, I mean, maybe we go with some sort of a tent over it for the summer. I'm not sure what the plan will be.
I mean, they've lived without it how many years? I mean,
yeah, I mean, we've done it
Another
before.
year.
I think last year was, the first time the car show had a band down there, and I think you've had bands down there before as well, haven't you,
Yeah,
Scott?
yeah. There was
Riverfest.
4 or 5, well, 3 or 4 bands last year. This year, there's going to be 6 for sure. And I don't know what Elizabeth has got planned for the
We
summer.
got a couple of things coming together now. We're just looking at bands for a couple of events down there. Family Fun Night, where we had that teddy bear band, and then there's a couple of other dates that we're looking at having a city concert down there. It certainly won't be as elaborate as last year, but we're trying to get 2 good events down there.
cool.
That's good.
The DNR boat landing, that's really in the DNR's hands, thinking 28-ish.
They'll be we're looking at construction of that in 27. That's what they're telling me at the moment. their engineering department is working through some of the things. They want a backup landing where the existing one is now, in case one of them gets silted in. They've still got somewhere to put motorized launches. We're looking at if that compromises, the unmotorized launch there as well, if that causes a conflict. So there's quite a few things that are going on with that at the moment.
All the irrigation projects will be completed in '26.
They're completed now. They just need to start up in '26.
Okay.
Well, since last time, I couldn't think of anything else that we discussed. And we're
So-
all planning on going, correct, to talk with?
We will let our chair
Council?
talk, I believe, and then,
Right, but we're going for moral support.
yeah.
Have
you
we
don't
planned
feel you
when
have
it?
to.
Have we planned?
When
what
is
day
it?
Well, we don't even have goals yet,
Right.
right? Like, what?
I thought that they were the 26 ones. Am I wrong?
Well, we need to,
Yeah.
we need to come up with other goals that we want to see for our park. So like, one thing that I would like to do, the very first year I was on, we had a huge work session where we had a huge map of the city. We all sat around it and we just kind of picked a bunch of trails. And then that's what we've worked off of. But everything that we have chosen has either been completed or most of them have been pushed back to go with roads that are being constructed.
Correct.
I want to see us still continue to find new trails, and so
A goal would be
I
to
would
discuss
love to
that.
have a work session where we could do that same type of thing again, because for me to just pick trails off the top of my brain, that's just hard.
Okay.
It's a good idea.
So that's something I would like to do in this next year. That would be one of my goals.
Focused on trails. Okay.
And
I like
try
that.
to continue finding ways to be able to bring them together. Along with that, in the past, we have talked about trying to find a way to have easier access for the public to be able to know how long each trail is, how many miles. And I did notice when I went and looked at the app in preparation for coming here, there is a map now on there showing the trails, but you can't zoom into it. It's very hard to see anything. And I'm just wondering if there isn't something more we can try to do to make that more interactive, to help people understand this trail is 2.6 miles, or
Yeah, and
I just don't know that if you have that, we've talked about it before, and
Yeah.
maybe you've put the information somewhere, but I couldn't find it.
so I think on the trails, you have to click on the trail itself, and there should be a drop-down menu that comes up with that. At least there is on
Let's
the...
bring it up right now.
Okay, yeah, because I was looking and just didn't see it, so maybe I missed it. I very
I
well
know for
could
sure
have.
on the parks, if you do click on the parks, the amenities should come up on the parks. I thought there was something similar. It might not say how long the trail is.
And you're talking about the app or the website?
I'm talking about what I developed with the GIS guys that went on the website, and it should be the same transfer straight over to the app, is from what I understand.
Okay, my app isn't coming up.
Right.
Mine's loading. For the
We're on the main
comprehensive park.
page, Marty.
I'm just using the website though, not the app.
Okay, I'm trying to use the app, but it's not coming up.
Where would you say it is on the main website?
Oh, God, it's under parks, I believe.
Yeah, if you go to Parks Department, and then there was the comprehensive, under departments, Parks and Rec, and then the comprehensive trail map
Yeah.
is there. Oh, there it goes.
Do you care if I look?
Oh, good, sure. I see packets.
No, you're in the,
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, you're fine.
Because you're in the government section, so if you go into the other part where it's,
We can go home. What was
so
I
it's
reading?
more community instead of departments, there should be, okay, never mind, maybe it's, Parks and Recreation.
Go
than
for
the
it.
Parks. Sorry, I didn't mean to take over.
Oh, you can drive. Give it a minute.
I do love the fact that if we ever have any questions, just to let you know, according to every page I've seen so far.
Are all of these on all
I
trails
just-
too?
That's the thing, I see the parks, but I don't know where to find the
The
trails.
trails, yeah. But also, I just speaking from as someone who is an avid hiker and who hikes with a lot of other people who are avid hikers, is this the best place for us to be posting versus putting them on all trails and stuff where generally people go to find trails?
City of Dayton Departments Comprehensive Trail.
That's not the, that comprehensive trail map isn't the interactive map. That's just,
Okay,
Yeah.
so we've identified that the trails on our website need help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause
GIS.
so when I'm on the app and I hit Dayton Trails, the only thing that
And then
comes
Google.
up is this, but you can't do anything with it, and it's very hard to see anything.
that isn't the GIS.
Yeah, that's a terrible
Thing.
map.
Right?
I just know that that's what's on the app.
Yeah.
It doesn't tell me anything.
I don't know why that's
Right.
not the, because that's, yeah, that isn't the app that I worked on.
Okay.
So
So
it's
I
not-
just wanted you to know what, if you're on the app and you're looking at it, it's not up to date with
That is
whatever
just-
you had worked on.
That's a static PDF, and it shouldn't be that. It should be a GIS file that you can enlarge and click on it, and then it should be able to show the amenities. That's the way it was designed. I'm not sure that. So if you go on the parks, it shows you what all the amenities are in the parks. It'll tell you, it's got photographs of the playground equipment and all that stuff.
Sure.
So that needs to be fixed.
You gonna run with that, Marty, or?
And
Fair enough.
We had just talked about it, so I
Yeah.
was bringing it up because that was one of our goals last year.
And I'm disappointed that it's not on there actually, because I put a lot of effort into getting that to where it needed to be.
To be.
And
And so.
I know when we
just-
tried to put it on the app before, there was some hold up because they couldn't do it any other than a PDF. And then when we gave them the GIS file, they said, oh yeah, we can do that. And maybe they just put a PDF on. It needs to be
Which they couldn't.
interactive.
Yes.
I'll check out on that and see why it's not working.
One thing I'm curious
Thank you.
about,
Thank you, I appreciate
I
that.
don't know if I
Marty.
would say it's a goal, but it's something that, I guess, a goal of exploring. So there was that whole hunting for the little plaque
medallion.
Oh, yeah.
medallion thing.
Yeah, the winter medallion.
And it seems like that kind of thing people enjoy, and I'm curious in general if there are other like parks activities or ways that we can, I don't know, encourage people to get out more.
So
and-
we do have Leprechaun on the Loose coming up in March. So it's be coming up in it's for St. Patrick's Day. So that's going to be launched on the website in a couple of days here, I think.
Okay.
And then there's Move in May or something like that it's called. And
Yeah, I
that's where
remember
we
that.
have select a park and we'll take the Dayton dog out there and put
Cute.
some stuff out there and advertise that park to get people to go to the park
Okay.
and walk around the trails. And then we did last year with the Play Place, we took it out to a couple of parks in the city. Play Place is something that we run in the activity centre currently, and trying to boost people coming to that. We chose a couple of parks and advertised it and got people out there. One of the events we had 60 families, 60 mums and kids come out to that particular park. So we're trying to build on that. So that's a couple of things that we're doing.
Cool.
What about Park Cleanup Day? We did that last spring. I don't remember what the date was.
But park, wasn't that Earth Day?
Was it Earth Day?
I think it was Earth Day.
And that wasn't that coordinated through the,
Neighborhoods.
yeah.
Yeah. And then they were to notify you to pick up the trash.
Yeah.
That's 2 days before Arbor Day,
Well planned.
April 22nd, if anyone wanted that date. And 24th is Tree Day. Or Arbor Day.
April 22nd, you said?
Yep, is Earth Day. I guess two of my goals, I would say, would be getting the snowmobile trail. Let's actually iron that all out, and then the community park, if that's something that we're gonna look at. I think we need to figure it out now. I think we need to stay ahead of the 8 ball and not fall behind as the city grows, and making sure that that's a priority.
I would say that'd be a good work session with the council then as well, because we can talk about it, but we need them at the table too.
Yeah.
We need to convince them to
The
spend the money.
biggest question is if it's in the south, you're talking substantially different land value than in the north. So,
And I
Lots
guess,
of working sessions, it sounds like.
2 for sure.
and I guess,
1 for us and 1 with them.
You just talk about the snowmobile trails and the community park. Do you want those, a joint session with the council on that? Do you want both of those at the same?
Do we need the?
My 2 cents would be our working session to look at trails.
Yep.
That's when we would discuss the
Yeah.
snowmobile stuff. But then when we meet with the council, we would just talk about the community park. Try and hash that out
yep,
Agreed.
to one topic. Nobody leaves till it's done and bought.
yep.
how about finance?
I didn't say financed.
Well, and I think that's also brings up a good point is in my short tenure here, we have presented different things to the council, from the proposal for John with the park survey to the grand idea of Stevens Park. And both of them have been shot down, so I would like, I guess from my own personal opinion, is I feel like we need to know exactly what the city council is wanting us to provide, because if we keep on proposing different things and we had essentially everyone agreed that we should do the survey, we didn't agree on the costs, but then they get shot down eventually because of cost and the city council not thinking that we need it. What is our purpose here, and what is our goal from the city council and the mayor's perspective? What is our goal for them? Because once again, we can sit here, we can talk all great ideas, but then if they just get shot down at every time that we propose something, it's disheartening for us. And
So the goal is building a stronger relationship or a tie to the city council so that, yeah.
I do think it's good, though, that I don't actually think it's wrong that things get presented and they get shut down because they need ideas. If we just know what they want and we only do what they want, then nothing new comes out. And so we have to have a little bit of this back and forth in order to be able to bring ideas about, to be able to talk about things.
As long
So-
as we know why. I don't know why the review of all the parks area to understand the play equipments, the ball fields, things like that was shot down.
Yep.
If it was money related or if it was no silly idea.
Number one, I think that my biggest, I'll only speak for me.
Sure.
To me, you need to know how big a piece of ground you're going, where are you going to go after this park, number one. That's a big question in my mind because, and then how much do you want? I mean, there's been, for years, we've been talking, is it 40, is it 50, or is it 80? I mean, I think the city of Dayton would be happier than hell to have Andrews Park in it right now. And that's just under 40 acres. Now, I'm not saying that that's the right number, but
well, I guess I'm talking about John's circle with the,
Surrounding.
Yeah, surrounding areas.
Cities, all their
That-
ball field count.
Auditing
Yeah.
basically what is in the
We
surrounding
put a limit of
areas and what is
25K.
needed. Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
was shot down, and once again,
We felt like that would give us a great direction for what future projects could be, and then, yeah, to not know why it was shot down is,
I personally didn't see any value in that.
Okay.
That's me
Hey,
personally.
feedback's feedback. You know,
And
it's-
I'm only one, so,
But I mean,
I mean, it was, I don't remember the number, how the vote went. I don't remember what it was. It was,
So if we were, oh, sorry, finish. I was jumping to something else.
in any rate, I didn't see the, to me, if you're gonna compare, it's hard for us to compare to, Otsego, Maple Grove, because you were talking about cities that are 2, 3, 4 times our size. And we just do not have that checkbook.
but at the same
That
point.
doesn't mean we're not gonna be there in the next 40 years.
yeah.
But then, we're gonna have a much bigger tax base to work with. And hopefully there's some industrial and commercial in there.
But I guess in the aspect of that conversation, we saw it as a roadmap of where do we need to go and what aspects do we need. Do we need to spend money on baseball fields and softball fields and soccer fields and all this if, there is another one a block away, in a different city? And I think that would have gave us a lot of good road work. And it was disheartening that, well, we just don't need it. When we literally talked about it, and probably that was one of the bigger topics that we actually,
45 minutes?
yeah, we actually talked about. And it was something that I think we all saw real value in, and then we get told, well, we just don't need it. And
Well, you're gonna have that in
No.
whatever community park you build, you're going to have ball fields and
Oh.
soccer fields.
no, I understand that, but I think the idea that we just don't need it because it's not necessary, I think would have gave us a better ballpark of where we needed to go and where we as a community are going to grow and where that resources would have been put. And I feel like us not having that was I think that was a real big disappointment I know myself, I won't speak for anybody else, but I know that was one of the, what are we doing here if we are all in agreement that we need something or that we think it would be a good idea and it was shot down. So I just think having a better understanding and maybe, like Dave said, a better working relationship with the council might be beneficial. So maybe more work sessions or more,
FaceTime?
more
And I
FaceTime
fully
with them.
agree with Carrie too on us bringing new ideas and not just going with what the council
Right.
wants.
No, I agree as well.
I think that's a good point as well.
Can we ask John's perspective? You were at the council meeting, correct? When they shot that down, can you give
Yeah,
us?
so it was a split vote, well, somewhat split, so it was a 3-2 vote in denial of it. And so just for clarity, the study is 2 parts. One was an inventory of what sports facilities were available to Dayton residents, whether it was a facility within the Dayton boundaries or an adjacent city. And then the second part was a needs analysis of what does the city need for a built-out population of 50,000. So, the built-out population scenario, that's something that we have to revisit when we do the comprehensive plan. So it's not necessarily a question of if we do it, it's when we do it. The Park Commission's recommendation for the study was to do it with a cost ceiling of $30,000. And, again, I don't want to speak for Scott, but I think the consensus of the council is that it's just too much money. We don't need it right now.
But that would have, sorry.
That would have possibly, I think I'm going to finish your sentence.
Go ahead.
I think that would have actually saved us money possibly in the future, knowing where we needed to do. And I believe that was one of our biggest reasons why we were looking, why there was such a discussion is because we could see the value of us, do we really need another baseball field here if there's one a block away that's, is being used enough?
Or a community park.
Or a
validity.
community park.
So, since the council has already voted on it, I'm just curious, is there, can it be brought back up, or is this just, this is?
Yeah, we can bring it up
Are
every
we-
meeting.
Sure you can.
And we can
Cool.
push it forward
Sure you
in
can.
every meeting if we want.
Okay. All right.
Marty, next month, we would like a snippet review of that, so we could approve it and push it ahead again, please.
If I remember correctly, you guys were split too.
We were
split on the
only
money.
on cost, not on
We
the
all agreed,
actual.
but it was the cost.
Yep.
Okay.
And we had the money in the budget. It was a perfect meeting, because we all got good eyes on the budget. We said 30 was good enough, and, so yeah, we would like to vote on that and bring it forward again.
Okay.
Thank you, Marty. Any other goals? Did you, go ahead.
So I am curious, I know you guys want, I mean, I'm just asking you guys, I know you guys want to have a work session about a community park with city council, but what are we going to bring forth for that to actually have it be productive?
Number one, the first thing that you gotta think about it is if you do go for the community park thing, you are going to need to ask the residents if they're willing to pay for it in a referendum.
That would be
I
on a
think.
survey, right? Were we gonna do another survey this year?
There was going to be another Leatherman survey.
Yeah, so this has just happened at the staff level in conversations of a community survey, and we'll bring it forward to the council very soon. The goal is to do a community survey every 2 years. So what this is, it's a phone survey where we have a consultant that's calling 400 residents, and that's kind of statistically representative of the city, and with many, many questions. So it's
Sure.
roughly around an average of like a 20-minute conversation with residents on what their opinion is on many different subjects. When we did this a couple of years ago, one of the focus was on public safety. The question for the council or any of the commissions is what are questions that are of special interest to the council or the commissions. So as it relates to parks and trails, do the residents have a need for a community park, and what is a community park? So theoretically, I think most people, when they move within about 10 miles. And so you think of a lot of our Dayton residents are coming from, whether it's Otsego, Maple Grove, Brooklyn Park, Plymouth, not too far away. They all have ideas of what they were used to and kind of what their expectations are in Dayton.
Okay. Doesn't mean we couldn't have a work session later in there. Is that gonna go out this year, that survey?
Yes.
Spring, summer, fall?
We're thinking spring, probably late spring.
Love it.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking working session anytime soon. I think we would need to meet as a group first to talk about some
Okay,
stuff.
because I just don't want to show
Yeah,
up
so-
and we
yeah,
not be
yeah, and go,
prepared, because
"So."
that's just a waste of
Yeah,
everybody's
agree.
time.
Great question.
Agree.
I mean, in that questionnaire or in that survey, John, you're gonna need to really, and we as the council need to really get on this too. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but we need to look at the community park. I mean, you're talking 30, 40 million bucks.
Easy.
The water problems that we have in the south end, that's another 30 to 50 million bucks. So what do we really gotta have that's gonna be a really big conversation.
But
And then all of that is talking in the next 10, 15 years.
I would say 5. At the rate things are growing.
Well, the water
So-
thing is a big deal, because it's,
Right.
I think it's 2036.
2036 is when our current agreement
Right.
expires.
But I think these are two good, bigger goals for us, for the trails.
Internal working
and-
session for the
Yeah.
trails. Working with Marty on the website to make it easier to use for trails. And then the third one, community park at the end of the year, working session with the council after the survey information comes out.
Yeah, I like those.
and snowmobile trail.
Snowmobile trails are part of our working
Trails.
session
Oh, yeah,
with the
true.
trails.
Yep, never mind. Sorry.
Yep.
Okay.
I like that.
Do you have anything else?
Feels
I
realistic.
feel like you kicked off the conversations and we ran away with you, or ran away from it.
I think I have other ideas, but they're good for future times. I think that this is good for us to work on.
We're here now, lay it on us.
Well, some of it goes with it. I would like to look into an idea about a walking historical trail downtown. So that would be with trails.
Okay.
Also, I know we've been talking about Goodine Park is having a boat launch. But I'm just wondering if we can't look at that. Most of if we're going to plan anything with parks, right now we got to use what we have. And so I was just wondering if we could take some time to actually look at it, not to develop it into a park, but to see how we can use natural spaces more. I think the one thing we're lacking in Dayton is natural spaces. And so we have lots of community parks, we have lots of neighborhood parks. We only have, Leathers Park is being developed, I know, but we only have that one little trail going through a swampland over off of Vinewood. It's used all the time. People are constantly on it, but it's really small. Is there some way we can use Godine better to put in some natural trails, natural play areas, something that uses some of that land where people can just go to be able to be in nature and have the healing power of nature? That's one of my
I think your big hang up
ideas.
there is you're waiting for Three Rivers to figure out what they're doing.
But that's our land.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So I guess I'm curious, sorry, you both look like you want to say something, and I know I don't understand it fully,
No,
so
that's fine.
that's why I'm bringing it up.
So the Gooding Park project with Three Rivers is probably, we're just going to be getting a bridge over the ravine and using the parking spot at the top, and adding additional parking in there. The problem with Gooding Park is it floods all the way up to where there's a bench in there. It floods all the way up to the bench on most years. So through the spring into the early summer, it's not usable. It also means that it's difficult to put any trails in there.
Because they get washed away.
Because they get washed away.
Okay.
That's just, I'm not
Great
poo-pooing
idea.
your idea. I think there may be something that we could do in there. And I think that one of the things that we were looking at doing with Three Rivers was trying to put some natural trails through there, but I'm not sure where that would fit in there.
So that was just one thing that I thought we could look at, because I'm trying to figure out how we can use the land that we already have. And when I look at Dayton, the thing that I think is missing is just natural spaces.
Sure.
And the land that goes up for sale is all farmland, and so,
Yeah.
We were talking about where the Farms Park is in the Brayburn area,
Yeah.
that last little corner where those older, more mature trees are. I think it's an actual golf course right now, but leaving some of that natural.
I think that we talked a little bit about the homeowners association own a big plot of land up there on this thing. I'm terrible with directions. On the east side of 117th there, there's a big area. I can't remember how many acres is it? Is it about 10 acres or something like that? And it's all wetland and stuff. And we were looking at taking that over from the HWA so they didn't have to maintain it and put some natural trails through there.
Okay.
That was kind of what I recall from that area. And I think that's a good opportunity to still do that. And we have had some conversations with the Homeowners Association about that, so that might be something that comes through.
There was that development off of Laurel Lake too that we discussed putting just a park bench on, I want to say the northeast side of that little inlet.
Yeah.
Just leaving that as well.
And I think we got some pushback from the
That's-
developers.
I'm sure.
Yes, so
Yeah,
the
it's
city
prime
council did not go with that recommendation, so there's.
Of course not.
There didn't have to be a park.
I'm not surprised, running theme. Sarcasm, sorry.
Okay. So
Okay.
I like the idea though of exploring natural spaces.
yeah, I just would like to
I think
explore
that's an
natural
interesting,
spaces.
yeah.
I mean, keep in mind, you got all of Elm Creek Park Reserve. There's all kinds of walking paths in there.
There are really no paths to Elm Creek Park though.
That's true.
You're welcome.
Well, I mean, you'd have to drive your car, yeah. No different than a lot of other people do all over the,
Oh,
all
I
over
get
the
it.
That's
country.
4 goals right there.
Anything else? No, hey, we're all here.
So
There's no
I-
easy answers. What else do you have? Doesn't mean
That-
we have to tackle them all this year.
No,
It's just
I know.
ideas.
But
It's
that was
just
the idea,
ideas.
to push it out for a few years as well, so we got goals, not just for this year, but.
Right.
Right. So a couple more things that I've just been wondering about. Well, one, I wanted to just say, I loved the Giving Garden this summer, so I hope that you guys I would love to see that continue.
We were looking to expand that as well down to the old village as well.
I think that would be awesome. I thought that was, I just wanted to say thank you. I thought it was great. I'd love to see it again.
Yep.
And then I noticed online that there is now a dog treat station. I have not heard of that, and I'm just curious if you could tell me any information on that. Is that
So-
going into parks? Is that, I just would like,
So that's already out there. We got, I think, 6 dog boxes that we fill with treats. There's one in the old village. I can't remember all the parks. There's one at Central. I think there's one in River Hills.
so there's 6 total that have been dispersed already.
Yeah, there's 6 of them out there already. It's a program that Elizabeth launched last year. And she got 6 sponsors for them, and they pay for all the treats. Public Works fabricated the boxes, and we maintain them. So there 6 of them were sponsored already. Some of them get more use than the others, so we might end up moving some around, or we're considering expanding the program as well.
Cool.
How much is it to sponsor?
$250, I believe, for the
Oh,
year.
not bad.
Awesome. Somehow I missed that. I don't know if it was a meeting I missed or whatever. I was just curious about it, so thank you. And then also this last year, you had asked us to send you information about memorial benches.
Mm-hmm.
And then we never talked about it anymore. Is that something that we are going to take on as a city by giving options for the benches? The other thing that I wanted to bring up is sometimes benches are really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And so could we have options of something like memorial pavers?
So there is a donations policy that is already in place that covers all of that, from trees to giving land to benches and plaques, all kinds of things in there.
We talked
If you
about
want me
the
to
policy.
email that out to you guys so you can take a look at it
Sure we looked at
and
it.
see if there's anything we'd like to add to that.
Yeah. I mean, now that you brought that up, I remember we did look at the policy, but I didn't see anything online, and so how do people know about it?
Generally, what's happened in the past with that is people have contacted me directly about it, and then I can forward that to them. If we need to put the policy, if you think that's something that we need to put online,
I don't know
It is
that the,
online.
okay.
It's on the Park and Rec page.
where it shows that you can get a bench.
It says park donation policy, and it goes into what you can donate. It
I
goes
don't
over
think
the
it
whole
gives
park.
any
Yeah,
exact.
It's the policy
Yeah.
itself.
It doesn't have any exact examples of the park benches. And I think that we were going to try and standardize 2 or 3 different styles of
Right, and
benches.
so I was just wondering if
Yeah.
they ever got standardized, because
No,
I don't
they have
remember
not.
ever hearing anything after
They
we
never got
sent.
standardized.
And then I just wanted to, give the option of what about memorial pavers? Because when I looked into those are around $125 to $400. That's a lot different than a bench. And so would there be places like in Leathers or in Elsie, Stephen, if we're building these things up, then should we think about areas where something like that could go in?
Okay.
So that was just another thought.
Good list.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
You told us to come,
We're not going to talk about him today.
you told us to come prepared, so
Definitely came
You gave him enough for 2028.
Perfect.
I came prepared.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Take it how you want.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's kind of what we're looking for is stuff like that.
And this was just a discussion, we're not like voting on doing these goals or anything, right?
No, I think that what we wanted was to get your goals together, so we could put a document together and we have a route map of where we're going to get to. We prioritise those. I think we prioritised them a little bit tonight.
Yeah.
And then I've got to figure out where I go with all this information.
Did Brad?
No rush,
Brad
it's
didn't reach out
just,
with anything.
Okay.
Okay.
no rush.
No,
It's just I
appreciate it.
came with ideas.
We'll see you in April, right?
If you're lucky.
I am not that lucky.
Yeah. No, thank you. I've got a lot to work on there.
Anything else that you guys might have thought about? Nope.
I don't think so.
All
Oh, wait,
right.
let me go back.
Sherry did all the work.
Yeah, she did a great job. So for our goals that we would talk to the council is more trail development. We'll have an internal trail discussion, prioritize things, talk about snowmobile trail, talk about a possible historical walk in Old Town. Better trail information on the website. I'll work with Marty on that. Donate Carrie's time for it.
I'll help where I can.
Then possible work session with the council this fall after we get the survey information back. And then really looking into natural spaces that we can turn into parks. And celebrate
Arbor Day.
our birthday. More natural space parks. All right.
Okay.
Everybody agree?
Yeah.
Fantastic. What else we got, Marty?
I think that's it.
Meeting.
When do we want to have our work session on the trails? Should that be something we do in this sooner months than later, so we can have a better roadmap once again?
Well, I think it kind of depends, I mean, the city has to be able to get information all gathered to us, so I would like to let Marty say.
Determine when we can. do
Yeah,
that.
because that's a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
We could, so
Okay.
it wouldn't be April. What month were we gonna go through the parks? May?
Yeah.
May or June in the parks?
Yeah.
July, we usually don't get together depending on how the dates land. So, yeah, work session, May or June?
Sure.
It's not gonna get any easier coming up.
No.
No, it isn't.
Alls we needed were the big maps, current trails, trails we identified before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
And
we
when
need
those
to
will
know
be
when they're gonna
constructed.
be, we need to know the ones we've already identified and when they're going to be constructed, that timeline.
Sure.
And then in all the city easements along the roads. That would help us as well.
Okay. All right. Let me start pulling some of that stuff together, and then maybe at the, I'm not going to say next meeting, the meeting after, then I can show you a rough draft of where we're at and see if that meets what you are expecting, and then we can make changes and then we can
Awesome.
set a date.
I like
Thank
it.
you.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Marty. We put a lot on you. We appreciate you.
I do.
When's your birthday? Can we make it that like a holiday for the city?
It'll be a retirement coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, pretty soon.
Hey, now, we can't.
You can't
use
get
those.
rid of me just yet.
As long as what?
The band shelter's in place, then you can retire.
Yeah, we don't want to get rid of you yet.
All right, so, next meeting, Tuesday, April 7th.
Works for me.
I may not, but I'll explain off of line.
Sure thing.
Cool.
Good for you. Fantastic. All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.